Unity 1, just having fun.
The primer on the quarter windows had peeled and was in a poor state, so I was removed. To mask them, I ran a 1-inch tape around the edge and then lined that with some thin masking tape. I also had some reverse Unity 1 decals made and fitted them while access and alignment was easy. To protect them from being pulled off, I applied some tape sticky side up over the decal and then taped that in place. Finally ready for glass primer, which will be applied just before installing. The left side window mount for the lifter had suffered significant rot, causing issues raising the window and needed to be replaced. Firstly, I measured the offset to ensure the replacement was refitted in the correct position. Removing the rotten mount was a little challenging. I tried heating to loosen the adhesive without any luck, so ended up cutting it off very carefully in sections with a mini grinding wheel and prying, taking extra care not to break the glass. Once off, the edge was cleaned with some rubbing alcohol to prepare for bonding. Preparing the windscreen required some work. Firstly, I ran a blade down the glass to remove as much of the old bonding and cleaned it with little paint thinners as I was at the body shop. The windscreen trim is fitted in 2 parts, both of which needed to be cut to size. The first is a U-shaped channel containing bonding with a recess for the finishing trim to clip into. To be honest, I would do this differently now, as the trims were stuck together when delivered, which when separated left the bonding uneven. This made pushing and tapping it onto the glass very difficult. It took several attempts, putting them on, not going on even, and pulling them off, and then having to clean the glass afterwards of the bonding that was left. In hindsight, I should have cleaned them up a lot more initially, and even had them in the oven to soften the bonding as much as possible. Some of the recess that accepts the finishing trim broke during these attempts, and therefore also needed to use some adhesive to hold the trim in place. To mitre the finishing trim, it was temp fitted and cut while pushing up the outside edge, hopefully to get a better fit when it's installed and pushing against the car body. We had a glazer come in to prime, apply the bonding and fit the glass with some assistance. The rear boot glass was cleaned up as the screen and does not have any additional trim. The channels for the door glass are still to be fitted here. Again, as seemed to be the theme, this was not an easy task and requires fitting with spacers, adjusting and swapping out as required to get the correct alignment and angle. All of this from poor access bolts that I'm sure require 7 fingers and a broken wrist to complete successfully. The fuel filler pipes and tank clamps are installed and connected before the quarter windows were fitted to benefit from the improved access. I also fitted a stainless steel fuel ring for improved corrosion protection. You can see here some imperfections caused by dust and shrinkage from the crack repairs. These will be removed during the flatting process. The flatting involves wet sanding with grades from 1500 to 3000 by hand, taking care not to overwork the edges and go through the clear coat. The intention is to remove the imperfections and the slight rippling, commonly known as orange peel, which is a result of the spraying, and provide a better base for polishing. The body is then cleaned and polished with grades of compound paste. Most is done mechanically with a soft mop of different sizes for access. The tighter areas are finished by hand. Once complete, you should have a near mirror finish. With that said, let's have a look at the result, and thanks for watching.